Hello, thanks for checking out the video. As you may have noticed, the appointment book looks a bit different. This video will guide you through the changes. We're going to go over updates in the appointment book, including creating new appointments and time blocks, plus approving online booking requests and checking out clients. First, let's start in the calendar. Notice that the columns in the calendar are assigned to individual technicians. There are two ways to create an appointment. The first way is to click into an empty slot and then the appointment card opens. The technician whose column you clicked into will automatically be selected for the appointment you're creating. Notice that the date and time are set to the corresponding time where you clicked on the calendar. You can then fill in the client information to quickly schedule your appointment. The second way is by clicking the Add button in the lower right corner. If you want to add a new customer or a note to your appointment, this is a convenient way to do so. By selecting the Add button, your new appointment will be set to the current day and time and are able to be changed. Let's go ahead and finish scheduling an appointment. First, click into the search bar under Search Client. You can add a client by selecting Add New Client or by selecting Walk-in in the drop-down menu. You may also type in a name into the search bar and select the client from the drop-down results. Here, I'll type Andrea, and when Andrea Adkins comes up, I'll click on the name and the results. Now that Andrea is entered, you can click on View Info to see what services she had done in her last visit. Here under Client Comments, you can read any comments you or another technician left about Andrea, and under Notes, you can read any notes related to Andrea's prior services. If you want to see any photos saved for Andrea, click View Photos to the right of View Info. To add a service, click into the search bar under Add Items, and start typing the name of the product, service, package, or membership that you're looking for. Here, I'll type Obagi Blue Chemical Peel, and then select Obagi Blue Chemical Peel from the results. Obagi Blue Chemical Peel then appears in the item list below, where you can edit the start and duration time, quantity, and price. In the appointment notes, you can add any note for this specific appointment. Let's say the last time Andrea was in the medical spa, you recommended a specific brand of cleanser and moisturizer for her skin type, but you were sold out. Now you can make sure to order some for when she comes in. Okay, now to finish scheduling. Click the Schedule button in the top right corner to put this appointment on your calendar. After you finish scheduling, you can still use the appointment card to make updates. Once the appointment is scheduled, the appointment card will show three buttons: Cancel Appointment, Appointment Details, and Check-in. The Cancel Appointment button will allow you to quickly remove the appointment from your calendar. The Appointment Details button will allow you to make edits on this appointment, like adding or removing a service or changing the time. On the bottom right of the card will be a Check-in button. Once you've clicked this button, the card will update showing that your customer is in the medical spa. You'll see a check mark on the top right of the appointment block after you check the appointment in. The color of the appointment block then turns green. You'll also see a note icon from the previously entered appointment note. New to Orchid is the side panel on the left side of the screen. In this panel is a calendar that controls the visible date for your appointment book. Directly underneath is a date tool that'll let you select a future date in 1 week increments from 1 to 8 weeks from the selected date. In the filters, you can see employee schedules by their assigned roles like medical esthetician, or you can filter by employee name. If you select just one employee, then you can see up to 7 days worth of appointment schedules. If you select multiple employees, then you'll see 1 day's worth of schedules for each employee on that day. If you need to see more employee schedules than what's on the screen, there's an arrow on the top right of the calendar that'll let you do so. At the bottom of the side panel is the appointment holder. If a client asks to reschedule an appointment, you can drag and drop the appointment into the holder while you search for a new date and time. You can now change the calendar to a future date, look for an opening in your schedule, and then drag the appointment from the holder into your preferred time slot. Your side panel will look different depending on which section you're on within the appointment book. For instance, the holder will only be present in the calendar section. To close the side panel, click the circle with the arrow on the top right of the side panel, and to reopen, click the tab with the arrow. Let's look at the other three sections of the appointment book by starting with the appointment list. The appointment list is an alternative view to the calendar where you can see the day's appointments laid out in list form. The side panel will now have two calendars to select a start date and an end date. This gives you a way to narrow down the list that you see to a specific time range. This allows you to more easily see your upcoming appointments and confirm if they are open or closed. Note your filter options are different here as well. You can click on an appointment row and see the appointment card in order to check the appointment in edit the appointment details, or cancel the appointment. Next is the time block section. Time blocks are uninterrupted periods of time on your calendar that are for you to schedule breaks. Here you'll see a list of the time blocks you've already scheduled. Let's say you want to schedule your lunch at a specific time, or you have to run an errand during the workday. If you'd like to make time to do these on your schedule, go back to the calendar section first. Click into a time slot in the calendar and change the entry from appointment to time block. In the fields underneath, you can change the date, time, provider, and a description indicating what the break is for. Once you're ready to finish, click Schedule on the bottom right of the card. Next to the time block section on the top right is Online Requests. Here, you'll see a list of requested appointments from online customers and details about their appointment requests. This section defaults to today. If you have a notification indicating you have online appointments but don't see them initially, expand your date range to see those pending requests. There are two ways to accept or reject a requested appointment. First, click on the More Options menu. You'll see a check mark, an X, and a calendar icon. Clicking the check accepts the appointment request, and clicking the X rejects a request. The second way to accept or reject a request is to click the calendar icon. This will lead you back to the calendar and will also provide an appointment card. This will give you the ability to look at your schedule when deciding to accept or reject an appointment. When you're ready, click the Accept or Reject button on the bottom of the card. Whenever an appointment is an online request, you'll see a globe icon on the top right of the appointment block in the calendar. The color of the appointment block turns from gray into whichever color you chose for that service. There are two ways to check out. The first way is to click on your appointment to open the appointment card. On the bottom right will be a checkout button if you've already checked in your customer, or a check-in button. For all your appointments, you'll need to check in your customer first in order to be able to check them out. When you're ready to collect payment and close out your appointment, click on the Checkout button. This will lead you to the checkout screen, where you'll see your client's information and a summary showing the services and products to be paid for. The second way is to click on Checkout in the global navigation bar. You will see a list of clients who are in the day. You may also click on Search Client to search for an existing client. Here, I'll select Andrea from the In Today list. It will lead you to the same page as when you click on the Checkout button from the appointment card. Here you can make changes like adding another item, buying a gift card, returning an item, or updating any prices. To continue, click the Proceed to Payments button on the right under Order Summary. Under Add Payments, select the client's method of payment. Let's use cash as an example. Under Cash Details, the amount the client owes is automatically filled in under Cash Paid. To add a cash tip, type in the amount given to you by the client, and then check the Apply Remainder to Tip checkbox on the left. Click the Add Payment button to apply the amount. Under Enter Tip Details, the employee who delivered the service is automatically listed, as well as the tip type and amount. The amount of the tip will automatically be calculated under Tip Amount. You can add other employees by clicking the Add Tip button underneath the employee name. To change tip type from Withheld to Direct, click the drop-down field under Type and select. To add the total tip, click the Add button on the right of the Enter Tips detail box. If you need to edit your tip, click the Edit Tips button under the Order Summary. To finish checking out, click the Close Ticket button on the right of the screen. You may select to email or print a receipt, or choose to skip sending a receipt after the transaction is completed. On the next screen, you may also choose to rebook the appointment for your client. If you choose to rebook, you'll be led back to the appointment calendar with a new appointment card, and you can choose the date the client prefers. This new appointment will automatically have the services and technician from the previous appointment, and you can make any necessary edits before scheduling. Now click on Schedule to finish rebooking. Thank you for watching the video about the new changes in Orchid.